And we'll just take a look at it. We'll review some of the verses that Brother Mike had just read. As we kick off here, Romans chapter 16, verse 6. Romans 16, 6, it says, greet Mary, who bestowed much labor on us. Salute Andronicus and Junia, my kinsmen, and my fellow prisoners, who are known among the apostles, who also are in Christ before me. Here, of course, Paul continues, he's doing a lot of greetings and salutations of people as he closes out the book of Romans. And he does that in a lot of his other books, but he goes into great detail in the book of Romans about who he's saluting. And just to take a look at in Romans 6, verse 7, he's saying about Andronicus and Junia that they were his fellow prisoners. My fellow prisoners. And of course, Paul was somebody who went to jail for preaching the gospel. Paul was somebody who suffered persecution for the gospel's sake. And he's talking here that Andronicus and Junia, they were also, he's saying, I think this literally, fellow prisoners. They were also, at least at one time or another, people who had been put in jail for preaching the gospel, for preaching the word of God. They suffered persecution for those things they did wrong. Now, we don't hear anything more about Andronicus and Junia in the Bible. But we do know here that they were fellow prisoners, and it also says here that they were of note among the apostles. So think about this: the 12 apostles, they were great, right? I mean, they were like the top people. They were the Christ's biggest followers. But he's saying about Andronicus and Junia here that they were also of note among the apostles. So these people were very, strong in the Lord. These people had, and I believe that probably had great influence on seeing people saved, had great influence on encouraging and exhorting other people. Now, as we continue on in Romans chapter 16, verse 8, and it says, greet Amplias, my beloved in the Lord. Salute Urban, our helper in Christ, and Stachys, my beloved. Salute Apelles, approved in Christ. Salute them which are of Aristobulus' household. Salute Herodian, my kinsman. Greet them that be of the household of Narcissus, which are in the Lord. Salute Tryphena, Tryphosa, who labored in the Lord. Salute the beloved Persis, which labored much in the Lord. And we see a lot of your verses here. In verse 9, 10, 11, 12, he's saying salute. And I think that's something that we ought to do as Christians, that we ought to salute our brothers and sisters. A lot of churches, they have a time where they'll shake hands. They'll greet one another. And of course, our church is kind of really, we're not really that big enough to do something like that. I can see a big church maybe doing something like that, because maybe there's like a disconnect between people. It's just like so many people, and they're just trying to get people to be friendly with one another. But that's something we ought to do always as Christians. We got to salute one another. Salute other Christians when you see them. Hey, be good to them, be nice to them. Now, of course, let's face it, we're all people, right? And some people, let's face it, are going to get under their skin sometimes, right? Let's face it, there's going to be, even though it may be someone's, your brother or your sister, maybe there's something about that person that, bothers you, about their personality. Maybe you're having a hard time, maybe to love that person, but just challenge yourself. Just challenge yourself to find something good about that person. Challenge yourself to love that person. Salute them. Salute those people also. Now, if you look at if you read Bibles to Matthew chapter 5, verse 46. Try and keep the benchmark of Romans 16, bookmark of Romans 16, Matthew chapter 5, verse 46. And it says in Matthew 5:46, for if you love them which love you, what reward had ye? That not even the publicans the same, if you salute your brethren only, what you more than others, but not even the publicans so. Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. So we gotta take that extra step as Christians, take that extra step to try to love those people that maybe where we're going to be challenged to love, and salute them and be good to them. So I encourage everybody. If we get people coming in and visiting, just go out of the way and salute them. Even maybe the kids, some of the kids who come in here, and maybe they, and just say hi, right? It makes a big deal when a kid. When I was a kid, and someone like an adult would come and say hi to me and say how I'm doing. Hey, that would make me feel good. And sometimes I think we forget about this, right? We think, sometimes good for us. So we got to salute one another and do that. And that's why I believe that a lot of churches have time to shake hands and stuff like that. But of course, we should do that regardless of what the church says. We ought to do those things. Now, if you take a look at Romans chapter 6, verse 12. Romans chapter 6, verse 12 says, salute Tryphosa, who labored in the Lord. Salute the beloved Persis, which labored much in the Lord. Now, if you turn your Bibles to Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. And it says here, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And the way I look at this parable, what I believe this parable is talking about, I believe God, in a sense, hiring those people to go out into his vineyard. And let's face it, the world is a world that needs Christ. It's a world that needs the Word of God more than anything. It's the thing that people are desperately seeking for, whether they know it or not. And we got it. The thing is, though, when the kingdom, where it says the kingdom of God is like unto a man, there's a householder which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. Of course, you're going out into that vineyard. that's labor. That is something you might think you're going to sweat about. That is something that is not easy. What my sister doing it's work, right? It's get up every day, right? Knocking on those doors. But the Lord is work when you go out on street preaching, right? And you gotta get out there, you gotta get out into the sun, get out into the cold. It's work. And what he's saying in Romans 16, verse 12, he says, salute Tryphosa, who labor in the Lord. Salute the beloved Persis, which labored much in the Lord. He's saluting them because of their labors. And what he's looking at here is that labor. He's not expecting us to go out and see the whole city saved and convert everybody, 500 people in Toronto to be saved. He's not saying, well, get everybody saved in Toronto, get your whole family saved, and if you're not, then something's wrong with you. He's just saying, go out and do the labor. I'll do the rest. Go out and do the labor. I'll do the rest. And he's saluting these people because of what they did. Because it was hard. It was hard work. And he was, in a sense, exhorting them, using them for an example in this Romans. Hoping other people would see this. Hey, that they're laborers. It's just all what Jesus said. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man who is a householder which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And of course, the kingdom of God working out his bread without the labor. We need laborers. God works through people. God works through a man. God works through a woman. Now, if you turn to Psalm chapter 127, verse 1. Psalm 127, verse 1. Psalm 127. Verse 1, it says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waiteth, but in vain. Now when we think about that labor, when we think about our labor, think about what we're laboring for. Think about how we're laboring. And I was saying here that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. So when we think about our labor, when we think about knocking on doors, when you think about talking to people on the street, and when you think about trying to encourage other Christians and strengthen them, we want to be a co-laborer with Christ. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. If God is not working on somebody, if God is not working on somebody in the church to step up and do more, if God is not working on somebody you knock on doors to be saved, what's the point in that labor? Because except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain, they build it. So for our labor, we want to think about where are we putting that labor? Is that labor being fruitful? Is that seed we're watering and growing? Is what we're doing something that God, is something God is trying to build up? Most of the people, in my opinion, I think that people build up as Christians, they're not necessarily being built up because on the Lord Jesus Christ, I mean, God's already working on them, and God's just using you to complete His task. So we want to think about our labor, think about how we're laboring, think about, is the seed I'm watering, is that growing? And I know Pastor Colin was talking about that to me with, people we go out, we knock on doors, and we try to follow up with them. You pray about it, but is that seed, when you water that seed, is it growing? If it's not, get out of there. Don't waste your time. Don't get out of there. You want to plant seeds. Some people are just plant some seeds. They're not really ready to grow. Water a little bit, and you gotta go. Our time is precious. Our time is valuable. God is gonna build. God will build His house. God will build His church. We just have to be the partakers and be where God wants us to be, where God wants us to be. Now, continuing on here. Romans chapter 16, verse 13. Romans 16, verse 13, it says, salute Rufus, chosen in the Lord, and his mother and mine. I guess you could probably take that to say that Rufus and Paul may have been brothers. If he's talking about his little mother here, that would make us think that. Romans 16, verse 14, it says, salute Asyncritus, Phlegon, Hermas, Atropos, Hermes, and the brethren which are with them. Salute Longus, Julia, Nereus, and sister Olympus, and all the saints which are with them. Salute one another with a holy kiss. The churches of Christ salute you. So here we have this long list of people Paul is saluting. Now here it says, in verse 6, Romans 16, just take one more look at it. It says, salute one another with an holy kiss. The churches of Christ salute you. Paul's saying, salute one another with a holy kiss. What's he talking about here? Kiss, holy kiss. I mean, when you think about that, if you turn to, just quickly turn to the 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 14. 1 Peter 5:14. 1 Peter 5:14. And it says in 1 Peter 5:14, greet you one another with a kiss of charity. Peace be with you, all that are in Christ Jesus. Amen. And in 1 Thessalonians 5:26, it says, greet all the brethren with a holy kiss. 2 Corinthians 13:12, it says, greet one another with a holy kiss. And 1 Corinthians 16:20 says, all the brethren greet you one another with an holy kiss. Now, I don't know, but if I came up, Brother Gordon, and I kissed you this morning, I mean, how would you feel? Feel a little weird? Yeah. You feel a little bit like yesterday, I saw you yesterday, and I came up to you and gave you, I said, a holy kiss. How would you? It'd probably be a little weird, right? Like, what's going on here, right? Let's think about what's going on now. If you turn it out in Luke chapter 7, verse 44, Luke 7:44. I don't know what you guys, but I'm a little bit well comfortable with that. Luke 7:44. Luke 7:44. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, this is Jesus talking, seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she hath washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss. But this woman, since the time I came in, had not ceased to kiss my feet. So here Jesus, he's talking to a man named Simon, and he says, thou gavest me no kiss. Jesus is saying, hey, thou gavest me no kiss. He's talking about, I think he's talking about literally a literal kiss here. Now, if you go to 2 Samuel chapter 20, 2 Samuel chapter 20, verse 9, 2 Samuel 20, verse 9. You're not able to turn there and find that's fine, I'll get it to you quickly. 2 Samuel 20, verse 9. It says, and Joab said to Amasa, art thou in help my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. So I believe what he's talking about here, he's talking about really, this is like a custom that was like in that country. This is a custom that was probably going on in Jesus' time, that they probably kissed one another. Now, of course, I'm not talking about a French kiss here, guys. Obviously, I'm not talking about like a French kiss. That would be, obviously, that's totally forbidden. That is not in the Bible whatsoever. But, when I was yesterday, I was talking on doors, and we got into this house of these people from Iraq. And the building, did you notice a lot of people from Iraq, or like those type of people in that building yesterday?
Rexton, lots.
Yeah, Steele's and Jane. And I started to notice this trend. Somebody said the previous story said everybody loves Jesus in Iraq. And we went to this one door. I mean, these people really love Jesus. And we gave the gospel. At the end, the guy came to help me. And he's like, "He's going to kiss me." Yeah, like I was a little like, he was going to kiss me. I think he kissed me. But you know, he did it in such a way that this was part of their culture. And to be honest, I wasn't that really uncomfortable. I wasn't going to kiss him myself. It's kind of like your grandma comes, right? She's going to kiss you, and you're like, "Okay, you can kiss me, but I don't want to do it." That's not like that. When he did a hug, and I'm like, "Hey, this guy showed me love. I mean, why not take it?" And they were so thankful, and he went to kiss me. I believe that, if anything, maybe that's the whole kiss that they're talking about. And we were going to live in a totally different, you don't do that in Canada, right? I mean, it was Canada, people are like, Pastor Paul was trying to hug me before, and I was like, "What are you doing, man?" And it was just, sorry, go ahead.
I went to a church, a Brazilian church.
Yeah.
And everyone kissed each other with men.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was like, no problem.
Yeah, it's their culture, right?
That's a culture.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, we're not really used to it. And I think, nothing wrong with hugging each other either. I come from this, we're back now, we just don't do that kind of stuff, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But I think that's what you're saying, just show them love, show people love. I mean, show your friend love. A holy kiss, I mean, what greater, when that guy came to hug me and kiss me, I was like, wow, I feel good. I mean, that's the way we should treat one another. Now, I'm not saying we have to start doing that in this church, okay? But if you're really comfortable doing it, I'm not going to let you do it well, stand back a little bit, okay, I'll give you this me, but I'm not going to kiss you, right? But that's I mean, the Bible, this is in Genesis 26, and I could go there. It also talks about a kiss, even men giving men, another man giving another man a kiss. Now, of course, we're not talking about French kiss, obviously, that's what goes without saying. But it's just about giving one another love. Now, in Romans chapter 16, verse 17, Romans 16, 17, as we continue on, it says here, as we get now we get back into Paul has saluted a bunch of people. He does a lot of salutations here. Now we get back to a little bit of doctrine. Romans 16 has a lot of salutations, a lot of greetings, and some doctrine. It's pretty good doctrine, but it's in between the salutations. Romans 16, verse 17. It's a very common, very popular verse. Someone actually sent me a text with this verse this week. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly, and by good works and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple." Now, turn your Bible to Acts chapter 15, verse 1. Acts chapter 15, verse 1. Try to keep a bookmark in Romans. Acts 15:1. Now, it says in Acts 15:1, we're going to really kind of tackle the age-old problem of the gospel, the age-old problem of the perverting of the gospel that really just has been going on from day one, and it's the biggest problem I see in my eyes going forward, the largest problem. Now, in Acts 15:1, it says, "And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, you cannot be saved." If you jump down to verse 5, it says, "But there rose up certain of the sect of the Pharisees, which believed, saying that it was needful to circumcise them, and to command them to keep the law of Moses." So, in the book of Acts, we have a sect of people, and people refer to them as Judaizers. And they would say that, in order to be saved, it wasn't just by grace, but it's also by being circumcision. And look at the simplest circumcision was, about keeping the law. And saying that here that in verse 55 it says that it's needful to circumcise them and to keep the law of Moses. So it's saying not only that the salvation was coming by grace, but they had to be circumcised and keep the law of Moses. Now, I didn't know about you, but that is exactly what I was taught from a young age in the church that I went to. And that's what many people have been taught. They think that they have to keep the law, and nobody can keep the law. For For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. Now, the law, they were told to keep the law in the Old Testament, weren't they? They were told to keep the law. They were supposed to keep the law. That was what they were commanded. And Acts 15:24, it says, for as much as ye have heard that certain men which went out from us troubled you with words, subverting your souls, saying ye must be circumcised and keep the law, to whom we gave no such commandment. Now, if you could turn your Bible to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, verse 18. We go to 17. It says, Matthew 5:17 says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy but to fulfill. For verily I say to you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called the great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say to you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees, you shall no case into the kingdom of heaven. But what I want to focus on here is that it says, to heaven and earth, verse 18, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled. He's not saying that we shouldn't keep the law. He's not saying that we shouldn't be following what's in the Old Testament, or, hey, nobody, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments in God's word, and shall teach men so, the same shall be called great. So the same shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. So we ought not to ever teach somebody to break something in the Word of God. We ought never teach somebody about that. But at the end of the day, we are not saved. We are not justified by anything but the blood of Jesus. And that is what our salvation all comes down to. But here in the book of Acts, it was teaching, they were trying, these Jew guys, they were trying to teach men that they were playing part of salvation. This is something very common with most religions. You look at Pentecostals, a lot of them, how many people met Pentecostal, they love Jesus? I mean, you can just feel it. And they love to talk about Jesus. You knock on their door, they're happy that you're coming to their door. They give them to talk about Jesus. I mean, they're happy. They don't even, most of the time, they never even get mad. They love you. I was going to we were going to rent a place from a Pentecostal church one time. I was looking around, and that guy was a great guy. He was a nice guy. But at the end of the day, some of them, a lot of these, not all of them, some of them believe that their salvation, they have to play a part in it. That they could lose their salvation. That it is by their good works, it is by their good deeds. And it's the age-old problem. It comes right back here to Romans chapter 16. So when it says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you learned to avoid them. Now, I think a lot of these people, they're not necessarily doing it willfully. I mean, they've been deceived by the doctrine. But there is an element that put that in place, the element that put those people in place, and that those ideas, that's up there. And when you know that somebody, after you show them, and they resisted the mark of them, which caused divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you learn and avoid them. Because we've all been saved. Our salvation is all by the grace of God. He gets all the glory. Jesus paid it all. All to Him I owe. Right? He is the one who did everything for us. Now, if you take a look at this verse 2 in another angle here, that if you turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. And it says in 1 Corinthians 5:9, it says, I wrote unto you an epistle not to company with fornicators. Get not together with the fornicators of this world, or with covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters, for then must ye needs go out of the world. But now I write unto you not to keep company with any man that is called a brother. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, with such a one know not to eat. So when you think about people who are causing divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned, and to avoid those people, he's also, I believe, talking about someone who says he's a brother and is a fornicator. Someone who says he's a brother but is covetous. Maybe maybe Brother Mike's got a side business, he's trying to rip a lot of people off, and he comes to the church, and like, I know about it, and he's kind of boasting about it, he's trying to get me involved, and wants all kinds of money. I'm just joking, I know you wouldn't do something like that, right? But someone was like covetous, or an extortioner, somebody who's got shady business practices, and they're coming into the church, and you know that they got this, and you know their heart is wrong. I mean, they might be saved. God forbid that they get into that mistake. Let's face it, saved people can get into the wrong things. There's somebody who's a railer, somebody who's constantly railing on other Christians, railing on this person and that person. Hey, those people, they're causing divisions and offenses contrary to doctrines of liberty. They're not acting like Christ. And at that level, just level one, you got to mark them and be away from them, because that can spread, and it really can spread. It's not other people's, we not to see evil communications corrupt good manners. And we have that evil, we allow that evil communication to corrupt good manners, and it can come to us, and we don't want that to happen. We will continue on more next week.